Hey guys, Caton here. I decided to just put together a more professional, if you could call it, I guess, video. Since I was doing my own sculpts and showing them off, I figured maybe I could put this together and explain some of my thought process in a more condensed form. So I decided I'm gonna take one of my Inktober drawings I did, and I'm gonna turn this guy into a bust. And simply that's it. I'm just gonna do like the head and some of this armor. And I'm undecided on this bone kind of like chest plate. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. It's kind of a cool element though, so I might end up doing it. But the main thing is, so the first thing you want to do obviously is pick what you're going to do. That's very important. This is something I suggest a lot of times to my students. If you obviously can design your stuff and it's good, that's great. But if you're looking for something to sculpt for your portfolio, I don't recommend doing your own thing always. Find something that you find that's like inspiring or you love and make that, because if you can find a professional artist and their designs are already good, you're halfway there. A lot of times people will think their designs are good and they aren't the best, so like their final piece doesn't come out the best. So I'd recommend, if you're going to do something like this for your portfolio, then just pick something you like. And on that note as well, I teach a video game character class where we make a full game character. And, I think it's good to have a mix in your portfolio. If you're looking to make a portfolio piece, have like finished game models, but also have a few just sculpts in there. They don't have to be all finished game models. So make some nice, just polished sculpts. And these sculpts don't have to take as long, especially when you do a bust. So that's one of the things I like doing these busts for, is because they don't take as much time commitment, and you can kind of learn some new things while you do it, and have something nice to show. So it's like a good win-win-win. So, anyways, as you notice here, I have Picasa up. It's something I use. You can use whatever. I like it though because I can make these little albums. Like if you go File, New Album, you can type in like I typed in Gumroad orc and made an album. And then it's as easy as just like, it'll map all your photos to your computer or whatever you have, right? And then let's say you want something like this skull here. Just drag it into that album and you can pull it in. And this is like non-destructive, so you can pull stuff from all over the place. And what I like most about this, I'll keep this quick, is that I can grab all of this and say create collage. And I like this basically making like reference sheets. Can't beat it. Super quick. And bam, you have something. I'm going to say mosaic. It'll figure out the size. And that's why I like using Picasa, is I can quickly put together like a reference sheet like this, regardless of what I'm making, quick sculpts or whatever. Just to like have my sheet up. And then I just say create collage, and I got my reference sheet here. So it's a pretty awesome little tool if you have never used it. I like it a lot, and it saves me some time. The one thing I want to talk about for you guys is whatever you're making, find, like I said, stuff that inspires you. So for example, I have my drawing. It's cool or whatever, I guess, but really what I'm doing based on these drawings, I loads of inspiration from people, and I'm pulling up stuff that I think is really good. I'm going to be looking at while I sculpt. Jordu Shell, if you don't know who he is, you should. Spell it Jourduschell, I'm pretty sure. His sculpts are all awesome. I always look at his. I like his a lot of his texturing he does, and just his skin quality is really nice. And he just has quite the like portfolio. So if you go look at his website, you just find like tons of cool creature stuff on there. I really like his teeth and his ears, and everything is awesome. Another guy I look at a lot is Paul Bonner, and if you can't tell, tons of inspiration from this guy too. And I just basically have some orc drawings of his just to look at. I love his shapes. These tiny little eyes, huge nose. This kind of stuff I think is a lot of fun, and that's basically what I'm doing. So I just kind of pulled up some of his stuff, and then his colors are always really cool. I haven't decided on the final colors yet, but I like this stuff a lot. And then the last guy I got a few images of because I think he's great too is Jean-Baptiste Monge. And again, just like Paul Bonner, I love his shapes and how it feels. Has a lot of realism, but even though the shapes are really pushed. So that's kind of what I gathered up for this, and it's really important, I think, to find your reference. And this for anything you're doing, everyone will say the same thing. So just find your reference of whatever it is. And I'll probably need to find some more, for my guy as I go on. But that's kind of like how I set things up. And by the end of this video, I'm hoping we'll have a nice rendered image of this guy that's presentable, like you could use for a portfolio if you wanted. And I'm hoping to show you, my approach to that. Like talk about like some skin weight, how to sculpt in like the weight of skin, the difference between like the forehead area versus like a meaty section, things like that. Talk about like color palettes for this. Obviously mine's kind of black and white and red right now, but one of the reasons I got the Paul Bonner stuff out is great color palette. Like these pops of blue, really cool. So I hope to find a good color scheme and we can talk about that. And then just shape language, just interesting shapes. That's what I go for usually when I make this stuff. Even though it might be handled realistically, I want always for my shapes to be interesting. Like this big round head, this long like rectangular snout and neck together makes like interesting shapes. So by the end of this, hopefully we'll have something pretty sweet. Hopefully you'll join me on that and you guys will learn something. So alright, let's do it. Bye. Hey guys, so I figured after making him, I should come back to this video and show you what I end up making during this whole session. But basically here he is completed in ZBrush at least. I end up poly painting everything in ZBrush, sculpting all this in ZBrush so you can follow along with how I do I like to talk about skin weight and bony landmarks. I talk about some of the alphas I use to get some of the certain looks that go into this, and just kind of take you through my process, of like how I make this armor, how I do the chainmail, all sorts of stuff. And here is my final image, which you've probably already seen if you've been following. And if you guys pick up the package that has all the videos together, in that package I'm going to be including this PSD and my ZTL file for you guys to look at. So make sure to check out that package if that interests you. But anyways, I go through just kind of how I comp this all together, things I like to do, to see if that helps you. And this is what he ends up looking like in the end. So I hope you guys check it out and enjoy following. I had a good time making him, and I think you guys will enjoy it. So make sure to go check out on Gumroad and post any questions you might have on my Facebook page in one of the comments, or hit me up through email or something if you're curious about something along these lines of the video. Hope you enjoyed, guys, and I'll see you around.